So first off, imposter syndrome is real, right? When I was doing the research for my book and I was looking at the data sets out there, I think one of the data sets I found was quite intriguing, and that was suggesting that something like 66% of all people at some point in their life have the imposter syndrome. And that is a large percentage if you think of it. It's like 2 out of 3 people have had an imposter moment, let's call it like that. And so it may or may not show up at work, but it definitely is something that you should be working to overcome, because I think, if anything, imposter syndrome can really get in the way. But that being set aside, I guess you could look at it in many different ways. The other day I was reading an article about the imposter syndrome, and it was actually highlighting the positive aspects of imposter syndrome. And I thought, that's an interesting angle. So everyone thinks of the imposter syndrome to be like something that you need to cut and stop, and it's not helpful, and so on and so forth. I think that's true. But if I wanted to, and this is, by the way, this was written by David Clutterbuck, so I want to give credit to the author. He's a coach and a professor as well. But he was talking about the upsides of the imposter syndrome, and if you wanted to look at those, it would be key things such as, if you have self-doubt, right? If you wanted to look at it in a positive way, what does it do with us? It makes us work harder and avoid complacency, right? So I don't know about you, Harsha, but in my book, that's a positive outcome, right?
Yeah,
And this is something
totally. Yeah.
yeah, can actually be quite positive. The second thing he was pointing out in the article was that it makes us work smarter by prompting us to rethink our strategy. So because we like to think of ourselves a little less than what we probably are, and this lack of belief, or the self-doubt that is ongoing, really makes us to work smarter as well, because we really want to not be perceived like that. And then thirdly, he said that it also makes us better learners. And I know that your podcast is also about learning and career management and so on. And so why is it making us to become better learners? Because it's, we will seek support and ideas from other people. We always want to, do a good job, and therefore we don't want to leave it at, chance. And so therefore we are always, on the lookout for ideas and support. And therefore, I just thought, when we get into this conversation, why don't we also focus it more on the upsides of the imposter syndrome? It doesn't always have to be something that we want to stop doing or cutting off and so on.
No, I just love that point. And it's funny, every time I'm about to record a podcast, I'm thinking, oh my God, it's going to be terrible. My guests are going to not like me. I'm going to mess up the interview. I don't have the research. And that forces me to do more research, watch countless YouTube videos of you, which I enjoy. But I think it actually, and then once you've done the podcast, you think, oh, like it was no big deal. But it's only because you've done the research, you've done the work, like taking an exam or an interview. It's the best interviews which go by very quickly. And you think that wasn't really an interview, that was more of a chat with a friend.